So before we start the sweeps on the bump out, I forgot about this water table. This is a little piece of trim work that goes at the top of our granite tiles. It's tapered, it has a little bevel on it, and that creates a nice visual highlight by catching light from the sky. Gives it kind of a two-tone effect. And a very typical way to create a cap to this kind of stonework. And we're going to do that by a sweep, a profile sweep along this actual wall surface. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So that trim is going to go right at this interface here. And the way we're going to do that is to modify a profile. This is the profile we're going to create. And if I was to just go backwards, I'll show you where I started with this. I'm just undoing it till we get to, this is the last trim piece that I made, the capstone. And so I'm just going to do a save as, or family. And I'm calling it the water table, and I've already started to work on this. And I actually have to work, I had to create these and then redo them because of an issue that I'll bring up with you right now. So we're just never going to open up a new profile again, at least for the next few. We're just going to continue to use the same one. It just seems an awkward way that Revit requires us to create these kind of profiles. But I'm going to start deleting this line, and it's really important to make sure you delete this bottom line and don't leave it in the drawing even though it doesn't show up. Because if you bring it in and there are lines that are sitting under underlines and are not showing up, it will error out and give you problems. So I've now changed this one line that I've left in to 6 inches. I'm going to bring it down to the initial host point. And remember, we drew the capstone back here that put it flush with the wall. This one we want to stay proud of the wall, to stick out, to protrude. And so I'm going to grab the line tool now. So we have the vertical line of 6 inches. I'll come out, let's say 2 inches. It's probably a little more robust than we would want, but it'll help to give us a visual reference. I'll come up 5, and then I'll just taper back until I get a highlight and click, and then drag back and connect it. So there's a shape, and we'll go ahead and save this and then load it into the project. I've already loaded it in, so it'll be an overwrite for me. And we'll go to the 3D view for this, but we actually need to edit that top wall, the top stone wall, the custom stone wall. So I'm going to go to the wall tool just so we can make access to this. So the basic wall custom stone on the metal stud is what we want, and we'll go to edit type. And then I'll edit the structure. And down here we have, well, first of all, if you're not seeing the wall section, make sure the preview button is on. And then we're going to add a sweep to that wall. And we're just going to say add. And then I'm going to grab that profile that we just loaded, which is called water table. And I'll give it a material, our granite. And then we're going to orient it from the top, not from the base. And it's 6 inches deep, so we're going to set it down 6 inches. Negative 6 inches. And I'll click apply. And you'll notice how that appears up there in the top corner. So we're all set with that. And I'll click OK. And then the endless amount of OK to get back out of this. And there we have our water table sitting on top of our other granite surfaces. So now we'll go back to adding those trims to the water table. Excuse me, to the bump out.